Okay, so the first thing I'm going to start off with is SpongeBob, of course. This was the hardest part for me. I'm just getting into character art, so actually creating SpongeBob and getting him to look like SpongeBob was really taking me out, y'all. So one of my good nail friends came and helped me at least get started because I was like struggling with like his nose and all this other stuff. So this is just me doing his outline after I did all the color blocking and coloring him in. Sometimes for some stuff, it just seems like color blocking is just the easier way to go. The lining and the outline detailing, I use the detail brush from I Pray. I will link it in the description. Then I moved on to Squidward. Squidward was pretty simple. I used a tutorial that I saw on TikTok from Ball Pit Nails. I will link that TikTok video in the description also. But yeah, Squidward was pretty easy. Once I got that outline together, just coloring him in and adding his little details like the wrinkles in his forehead and outlining his face and all that other stuff. And this is our final Squidward look. He looks good. I'm gonna just put some matte top coat on him and he's good to go. Now for the accent nail. This is a water effect with gel top coat and a colored polish to make a jelly color, and then gel top coat and white to make a milky white. So I'm just gonna polish the base with the jelly blue color, and then I'm gonna mix up that top coat with white to make the milky white color. And basically all you're gonna do is do the jelly polish first, cure it, then after that's cured, polish over it with a milky white, and then you're gonna take more clear top coat by itself and use your dotting tool just to make little water effects. It's not as easy to see in this video, but if you look at the ending result, you'll be able to see the water effect. Then I went in and did all of the, bikini bottom flowers. I was struggling on these flowers, y'all. I just had to figure out if you make a little U shape, do 5 little U shapes and then connect them together. That was the easiest way. Then we're gonna move on to Sandy. This was absolutely my favorite character I did. That's a little freeze of the outline. I found with the characters, it was so much easier to outline everything first and then color it in. So that's how I approached Sandy. I actually followed along with a tutorial on YouTube for just painting cartoon characters. So it was not a nail artist. It was just a regular cartoon character tutorial. So I'll link that in the description. But I'm going ahead and filling her in. I think next time I'm going to do her head smaller so I can make sure I have room for her bow that goes on her astronaut helmet. And then I'm just coloring everything in here. She looks a little spooky before she's a finished product. But yeah, Sandy was my favorite. And there she is. I'm going to freeze it so you can see it. She looks spooky still, but it's Sandy, y'all. And for the finished look, here we go. This is the big reveal. Get excited. So I wiped them all off with alcohol, but they are still matte in the end. They just looked a little shiny because I was wiping all the dust off or anything that might have been flying around, any little lint. And yeah, I actually have these stuck to a Bath and Body Works candle lid. Just to keep them all in order from like the thumb to the pinky. This was also a tip from Paris Dangerous Touch, one of my favorite character nail artists. She's also here in Orlando. That's who helped me with my SpongeBob. And this is with the blue light. I thought this was such a cool look, even though this is not glow in the dark polish. So my client came and got them installed. So let's talk about that. So the first thing you want to do is just shape their nails up, just so they're even. It's not like mandatory, but it's just something I like to do. I prep the same way no matter if I'm doing press-ons or acrylics or Gel X. So I always shape up the free edge of the nail, and I'm gonna do the same thing on the other hand. I'm just gonna speed it up. I mean, you know what to do. So then we're gonna push the cuticles back on each hand, make sure all of those are pushed back. Then we're gonna use our medium grit sanding band to go in and lightly etch the surface of the nail. As with anything, press-ons are going to stick a lot better if the surface of the nail is properly prepped. So if the surface is roughed up and then you rough up inside the nail, it'll stick better. This is how I size the press-ons for my clients. So basically, she sent me a picture of her hand next to a coin, and then when I get the picture, I just zoom in enough to where the coins are the same size, and then I take the empty or blank nail tips and I put them onto her finger on the picture. So this is basically what I did when I sized them. I was just showing again how I did it. So if you have someone ordering press-ons and they're a distance away from you and they can't come in person, this is a good way to do it. Next, I'm going to wipe off the dust that I created on her fingernail with some gelish prep and cleanse and a lint-free wipe. I will link that in the description also. I'm just making sure there's no residue because, again, if there's anything on the nail bed that will keep them from sticking, we want that off of there. So we don't want any dust, any lint, any of that. And then I'm going to get into etching the underside of the press-on. You have to rough up the actual person's nail and you got to rough up the inside of the press-on. I'm telling y'all, this is going to help your press-on stay on way longer. Seriously, don't skip this step. If you don't etch the inside of the nail, it's kind of going to be smooth and it's going to slide around once that glue is on it. It's just not going to stay on like it should. Then I'm going to brush all the dust off of it. Again, we don't want stuff in there that's going to keep the nails from sticking to each other. This is also the secret weapon, y'all. Brush on glue and glue dryer spray. It's going to help your press-ons last like way longer. Like I have people who go 2 weeks with the press-ons, not even a real set with gel or acrylic. Press-ons lasting 2 weeks, y'all. I'm just saying. So another way you can keep them on is to make sure you're applying pressure. If you're going to apply your press-ons or install your press-ons for your clients, make sure you're applying good pressure on each nail and that it's not wiggling by the time you're done holding the nail down. That will help them stay on longer. So it's kind of like the manual method of making sure the nails stay on along with the prep is how it's going to work. And so we got them installed on that hand, and we're going to just do the same thing on the other hand. Always double check your sizing before you put on the press-ons. Even though they sent you their picture with their hand and everything, just make sure that the press-ons are fitting properly on each finger before you put the glue on and actually apply them. Also, make sure you're looking to make sure the nails are not installed crooked because if you use this method, they are going to stay on long. So you don't want them on there crooked. And this is the final look. Look at Sandy. She looks so good. Look at Squidward. He looks so angry like he always does. And of course, SpongeBob and Patrick, best buddies on the other hand. So that's the finished look. And showing you guys one more time the brush on glue by Young Nails and the nail glue dryer spray from Formula 10. I will link them both in the description. And look how amazing these came out. My client was so happy with these. I cannot wait to do more character press-ons. And I will see y'all the next time. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I will holler at y'all later.